All good. Yep. I'll play with Olivia if you want to something to chat. Hi everybody, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. Plenty of things happening in South Australian sport. I welcome Rob Popper on the show. Poppy, how are you?
Well, I'm going okay. I'm a bit worried about one of our guests today, a champion Australian boxer. I just hope he's a nice bloke when he comes in.
Well, I hope he's not, and I hope he gets stuck in it. I can tell you he's a 2012 Olympian and he's a ripping bloke. Time to get to Olivia, though, to find out what's happening in sport in South Australia. Olivia.
Thanks, guys. Firstly to footy, both of the South Australian teams received a wake-up call in last weekend's round of AFL. The Adelaide Crows were left shell-shocked after North Melbourne blew out a 64-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Adelaide was unable to be a serious match against North Melbourne for the rest of the game, finishing on a 59-point defeat. Eddie Betts' 500th career goal did, however, lift spirits. And in a much closer game at the Adelaide Oval, Port were defeated by the West Coast Eagles. Leading by 27 points early in the final quarter, the Eagles were able to hold on and win by 10 points. Charlie Dixon booted 3 goals, while Paddy Ryder impressed with 42 hitouts and 17 contested possessions. In the SANFL, Norwood defeated Central Districts and the Eagles were comfortable winners over Adelaide. The Sunday game saw South Adelaide defeat North and Port Adelaide beat Sturt by 10 goals. And in netball, after winning the National Netball Championships for the second year in a row, 7 South Australian netballers were named in the 17 and under netball squad and 1 player in the 19 and unders. This year will also feature a New Zealand representative side who will join the 17 and under camp, giving the teams a taste of international competition. The training camps will be held at the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra. The 19 and under squad camp will be held from June the 25th, while the 17 and under camp will begin on the 25th of September. And all budding marathon runners are encouraged to enter the Barossa Marathon Festival. Runners can choose to enter the full or half marathon or the shorter 10 and 5 kilometre events. South Australian 2-time Olympian and Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Jessica Trengove is an ambassador for the event and will be running the 10 kilometre course. The event is held every year and starts in the scenic vineyards surrounding Tanunda. Anyone looking to enter can register before the event on the 28th of May. Lastly, the Modbury Sports and Community Club has seen a big jump in junior numbers thanks to a sports voucher campaign. The club is a combined Aussie rules and cricket club with approximately 900 members, including 550 children. The voucher program began in 2015 by the South Australian Government to encourage more juniors to get involved in sport. The incentive entitles South Australian primary schoolers to a $50 voucher to put towards the cost of joining a local sporting club. In the last 2 years, Modbury Sports Club has redeemed 715 of these vouchers, and the club is now fielding 5 more junior footy teams. Anyone looking for a local club for their children can visit www.sportsvouchers.sa.gov.au. That's it from me. Back to you guys.
Fantastic as always, Olivia. Well, Poppy, plenty coming up on the show. We've already touched on 2012 Olympian's going to be in to join us. Yeah. You might go a couple of rounds with the boxing man.
I don't think I'll last a couple of rounds.
1964 is the last time the Panthers won a grand final. One of their past players is coming in to join us, and it will be a great story. Got a couple of good stories he doesn't mind telling me about. The coach, Neil Curley. Good. Beach volleyball, a young girl coming in to talk about her journey, perhaps, to get to the 2020 Olympic Games. We've got the Southern Footy League, of course, as always. The Prez comes in. Yeah. Going to have a quick chat about the Amateur Footy League as well. Good. So plenty coming up on the show. Hope you can stay with us. Plenty to come. Yes, welcome back to the Sports Show. Time to have a look at what's happening in Amateur League, and the master of the SA Football magazine, Sam Bradbrook's been good enough to come in. Sam?
Thanks for having me, guys.
All happening in the Amateur League, mate. Round 4, what happened?
Yeah, big round. Like I said last week, it's pretty unpredictable, and it caught us again. Ross Trevor Old Collegians, they got over Spock, over St Peter's Old Collegians pretty convincingly. Heath Comain, another good game for him with 4 goals. But the most exciting game, I think, so far this season was Goodwood versus Payneham Northern Union, 13-10 to 13-10, 88 draw. Okay. 2 finals-bound sides playing
was Payneham the side that Macca used to, or does he still coach?
Gary McIntosh?
Yeah, Macca is still there.
He's still there, yeah.
Yep, so 2 sides that are pushing for finals, putting on a classic down there at Goodwood Oval, so that was a really good one.
St Peter's in a bit of trouble?
Yeah, St Peter's early on in the season they're still
it's unusual.
Unusual for them. Coming up from Div 2, they're still winless, which they'll want to change very soon.
Modbury Port Districts?
Yeah, Modbury versus Port Districts, bit of an upset here. Port Districts have been flying. They were undefeated before this. Modbury had been a bit inconsistent, had a couple of losses and a win.
Yeah.
But they, on their home deck, they were too good for Port Districts. And same, they're one that have just come up from Div 2 this season as well. And they're looking like they could be a finals threat in their first season.
All right, Prince Alfred, Tea Tree Gully.
And Tea Tree Gully are flying. They are the benchmark, and they did it pretty easily.
They undefeated. In how many rounds now?
So this was round 4. So
round 4, undefeated. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Undefeated in 4, got over PAC in a replay of last year's Division 1 Grand Final. So it's exacted a little bit of revenge there, which was good for them, and I think that will definitely be the benchmark for the rest of the season.
You've got Ross Goodwood Saints. They've always been around the mark. Most years they're either winning the final or they're around the mark. You've got Paynham. They're not too far off it. Yeah. And we're just talking about 2 of the other finals, Tea Tree Gully. Yeah. Is it hard to pick out of those 3? I mean, again, we're 4 rounds in. Poppy hates this, trying to pick them early. But Prince Alfred come in late and...
A lot of people picked Paynham early to be a premiership contender, and they've got off to a bit of a slow start. They had the draw this weekend. Yes. They lost to Ross Trevor, who were another finals contender. They went down to PAC, and that was PAC's only win for the season. So they're in a funny position where a lot of people still think they'll be premiership contenders, but the results so far haven't really backed that up yet. But like you said, there's still a whole season for them to get it right.
Round 5, you've got to pick a couple of the best games. Round 5, who do you think it'll be?
Well, Tea Tree Gully versus Paynham, so like I said...
Okay, wow, geez, all of a sudden the pressure's on, isn't it?
Yeah, pressure's on for Paynham. Tea Tree Gully will be looking to keep their perfect start, and I think they will at Pertaringa there. Yeah. They'll be one that'll be very hard to beat at home all season. Yeah. Always hard to beat there at Pertaringa.
You know, I reckon for those who haven't, they should go and have a look at a Div 1 game. The standard's actually...
pretty good.
Look, it is good. And you know, as much as a lot of people who go to AFL football say, gee, I like going back to SANFL, go back and have a look at a Div 1 game. And for those people who go to SANFL, go back and have a look at a Div 1 game. It's actually a really cool atmosphere.
The Southern Footy League's the same. There's some good leagues out there.
Yeah, you're right.
Question.
There's some of the players playing in Div 1 at the moment as well. You've got Michael Code.
Yes.
You've got Travis Tuck from
West Adelaide, Sturt player,
So and then for Paynham, they've got a very good ex-Nord trio of Josh Donahue, Michael Edgelo, Jonathan Giannini, Dylan Orcello. So there's some very good players in Div 1 at the moment.
All right, Sam, thanks for coming in. We look forward to your company next week to catch up on what's happening in the Amateur League. Time for us to get to a break. Stay with us. Still a bit more to come on the show.